Chevron 1 encoded. Chevron 2 encoded. Chevron 3 encoded. Chevron 4 encoded. Chevron 5 encoded. Chevron 6 encoded. Chevron 7 locked. Good luck out there.
Hello and welcome everyone to Stargate Flames of Hope. We are here with our third mission of the game and I'm very excited for it. We're all gonna go around, we're all gonna say who we are, who we're playing, and then we'll get straight into it. Hi, I'm Lindy. I'll be playing Ixora. She is the scientist on our team, SGP3. And she is a Turin, which is kind of like a Nox offshoot. And, you know, just really tall lady who prefers to avoid confrontation. Someone who may not be as confrontation adverse would be the character Deception Checks playing. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing better today. Yes, I'll be playing Fiddler. He's an engineer. And he's also what is he called? I always forget this when I start off, and it feels so stupid because he is a Tolan. Yeah, there we go. He's a higher than average level of technology before he kind of got, they got knocked back to the Stone Age by the Gould, and so now he has to work with the Tarvi. But that's okay. It's okay. I'll keep reminding them who's smarter. It's all right.
It's alright. Someone who I know is just so smart, is D20 coup de grace.
Interesting segue. Yes, that is me. I'll be playing Gorik tonight. He's a Jaffa scout, and he's well, I hate to say typical Jaffa, but he's kind of a typical Jaffa. And I can't wait to see what exciting adventure awaits us next.
Someone who just loves exciting adventures is Shiny Pilot. How are you?
Yeah, I like shiny shiny. I like shiny adventures and exciting adventures. I'm playing Jake Miller. He is, I guess, the team lead for now, at least de facto, for our Stargate group. I'm still learning him. We're going on fun missions together, and he's still learning the missions and the goals, and I'm excited to play him tonight because it's been a while.
Wonderful, wonderful. It has been a while, but we thankfully have our gate master whose internet connection will hopefully stabilize through this open wormhole, at least for the next 38 minutes, and that would be Nugatosaurus. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be back, excited to throw you guys into some shenanigans and see what you guys do with it. See what wrench you throw in my plans this time. Last time it was rolling really bad and letting the bad guys get away with the ancient ship. So that's fun.
The dice wanted it that way.
Yeah, the dice wanted it to happen.
You rolled really well. It wasn't just us rolling
And
bad.
we rolled
You
really
rolled
well.
amazing.
Exceptionally well.
Yes, the dice really wanted that to go down that way.
They really did. And it's fine. I've adapted. I know how I'm gonna, what's gonna happen instead of my original plan, but it's fine.
My pilot is very sad.
Very sad. So sad. Maybe later on in the show you'll be able to pilot something interesting. We'll see. Yeah, I'm Nugatosaurus. I am the gate master for our Stargate Flames of Hope. Tonight's episode is called Radio Heart. I will let you kind of ruminate on what that might mean. Last time we played, our adventurers, our team here, was in a bit of a pickle. They were separated on a planet without a Stargate where the Jaffa and the Tok'ra were having a bit of a disagreement on an artifact that they found that they both believe to have some type of religious importance to each one of their cultures. However, as the team investigated, they started to notice that things weren't quite adding up, and people kept losing memory of going into, secret tunnels in ancient ruins, but having no memory of it and having very specific notes about actually going in there, but can't actually remember going. And there was an urn, a canopic jar that was opened, and an artifact was found that our dear fiddler was almost instantly obsessed with and needed and activated, which, yeah, that was a thing that happened. And then unfortunately, due to, like we said, some really bad rolls and some really, really good rolls on my part, our mysterious Jaffa got away with that artifact and supposedly an ancient ship that was hidden away underneath the ruins that they had originally found and couldn't seem to get into. But our team is back in Stargate Phoenix Command at this point. It is about a week or two later. You guys have had some downtime, some time to do research, some training, things like that. There are some new abilities that our team members have access to now that we will hopefully maybe be able to see here in the near future. But at this time, I want to say it's about 3 o'clock in the morning right now. It is very dark. The Stargate Phoenix command base is dimly lit. They're in their nighttime cycle. So the complex is underground, but they try to keep they try to keep cycles, a day cycle and a night cycle. So people, being stuck underground can be challenging at times, so keeping a schedule helps keep people on track. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and each one of you is in various parts of the base. I'll give you guys a second to think about where your character might be at this time, if they're awake, if they're sleeping, if they're in the mess, if they're doing research, whatever they might be doing. But we hear over a intercom a high-pitched whirling sound. If your character is awake, they notice it almost instantly. If your character is asleep, it wakes them up after several seconds. It's constant. It does not change in pitch or tone, and it does not stop. So let's start with our team leader, Jake Miller. What is Jake Miller doing at 3 o'clock in the morning at Phoenix Command?
He was asleep. Dead asleep.
Absolutely.
And as the noise is heard and he wakes up enough to hear it, imagine he'd roll over in his bed and he'd put his pillow over his head.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to tune it out and try to ignore it, but not successfully. So then he's going to be a little upset about it, and he's going to just kind of grumpily finally just start slowly getting clothes on and getting ready to go out and go see what the heck is going on.
Yeah, absolutely. That doesn't take you very long. It only takes you, you're a military man. You're very used to getting kind of up at the drop of a hat and getting ready to go at a moment's notice. As you step out into the hallway, you see a lot of other people doing basically the same thing as you. You're in a part of the base that is the barracks, essentially. There are rooms that are private designations. So some people have their own individual rooms, but then other people have, they share like communal rooms. It's preference at that point. And you see just a whole group of people basically doing the same thing. They all look bleary-eyed, like they were sleeping, and confused into what this high-pitched whirling sound is.
So What was the audio sound like? Does it sound like anything human-esque that he would have heard at a base? Like,
So,
we talking like turbine whine, fan whine, something that sounds human-esque, maybe?
so when older TVs, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes when you turn them off, there was that high pitched
Mhm.
like sound that lasted for a couple seconds after it shut down. It's that, but it's not shutting off. It's continuous.
Kind of opens his jaw to like clear his nose, ears, the sinus check thing. He's like,
Yeah,
come on. All right. And he is thinking that in his head. And
Okay.
he is going to go and I don't want to say he goes to the ready room, but he's going to go try and find. I'm trying to think of the Stargate bases in the show in my head right now.
So
Gosh,
there's
go to the command center, the gate room. Like, hey, let's go see what's
yeah.
going on.
Yeah, so the essentially the ready room, the gate room, all of that, and then the command room where like the dial, the DHD and all that stuff is, all of that is in the same area. And you do see a couple other people in the barracks heading that direction as well. You recognize Heim. Heim is currently wearing like just gray sweatpants and um uh a big black what is this?
Hoodie.
Jesus Christ. Hoodie, thank you. My brain's not working today, guys. A big black hoodie that says Nike across the chest.
Nice.
It's slightly strange because like he's Tok'ra, so seeing him in Tauri clothes is a little
Tok'ra, just do it.
yeah, basically. Heim is making their way there as well, and he's kind of got like one finger in one of his ears trying to block out the sound and just gonna gives you a nod and doesn't seem to be a morning person, is still kind of half asleep as he's making his way there as well.
He'll casually be like, "You too, huh?"
Yeah, I don't understand. This isn't something I've ever heard on base before, so it's probably something not right. So that way, that's good.
All right, let's go see what the heck's going on.
Yeah, he's not making a whole lot of coherent sentences, but he's heading in the right direction. So
Jake briefly wonders if his symbiote likes coffee or not.
yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
So let's see. Jake Miller is heading to the command center of Stargate Phoenix. What is Fiddler? What is Fiddler doing at 3 o'clock in the morning, random day of the week, Phoenix command base?
3 o'clock in the morning, Fiddler is probably playing video games.
Okay, absolutely.
He's probably taken some sort of console system and souped it up, added his own connections to it, wireless controllers and all that, and they're, high fidelity and
absolutely.
He's made it, and he stays up way too late screwing around with this kind of stuff. So he's probably doing that. He's got his headphones on, he's playing it, so he probably doesn't even notice if there's a sound up right now.
Okay, yeah. So sorry, I realized I didn't have my notes.
Got
You
notes?
are, I know, wild, right? You are Fiddler's playing this game, and it takes a while for the sound to actually become consistent enough that you can hear it through your headphones.
Okay.
It's not loud. It's the same volume that everyone else, not that you would know, but everyone else is hearing, same volume. But it seemed like it kind of crept up on you. Like when you fully notice it, you're like, oh, I've been hearing this for some time. Like
Probably thought it was his headphones at first, like something to do with a cross from the wireless systems, and And he pulls his headphones off. He's like, all right. I'm still hearing it. Huh. He'll kind of stick his head out to the hallway, look around.
Does Fiddler is he in the barracks area? Does he have a room in the barracks area?
I believe he was staying in the Tolan Enclave for the most part, but I think he might be in the barracks because of right now, because of the last mission. He's probably a little bit more excited about getting out in the field.
Okay.
What he can remember of it.
Alrighty. Yeah. What memories he still has.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, as you come out of your room, you see there's a couple people in the hallway. Most of them are just kind of standing in their doors, looking around, trying to find the source, but nobody's panicked at this point. Nobody is nobody seems to be worried by the sound. They all seem more inconvenienced than anything else. And you notice the head of security, a Tal'Ree human. You recognize him as Major Jared Bell, and he comes around the corner walking with purpose. He doesn't seem to be as nonchalant as everyone else seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
He notices you, gives you a nod, and just keeps heading towards. You see the direction he's going, and he's heading towards command as well.
All right. In my t-shirt and boxers, I grab my go bag with my toolkits and whatnot, and I'm like, "Oi, Major, wait up! I'm coming!"
Yeah.
And I just run in right behind him and follow where he's going.
Oh, hey, Fiddler. Did this wake you up?
Yes, sir. Right from a dead sleep it was. I'll be fine. I'm figuring out. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I got an idea.
Not quite yet. I was on some rotations when it popped on, so I had to finish up. But I'm heading to command now to figure out what's going on. But you're welcome to come with, I guess. You got your
All right.
bag already.
I'm sure
Okay.
everybody will be heading that way. Let's go.
All right. And you two head off. What is Gorick doing at 3 o'clock in the morning on a random day of the week in Phoenix Command?
Enjoying a hearty breakfast before training.
Okay, absolutely. So Gorick is awake. Has he been awake for a while, or did he just recently wake up?
No, he probably just woke up 10 minutes ago. He's probably just sitting down to... Well, wait, what exact time is it?
3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m.
Okay, well, then, yes. He woke up 10 minutes ago and sat down to have breakfast exactly at 3.
Exactly at 3. Okay. So you are unsurprised to find that the mess is it's not fully prepared right now. They do have breakfast items and things like that out because this is essentially 24/7 based. So some food items are out, but it's not a normal breakfast time.
I guess Tal'Ree food is interesting.
Yeah, interesting. And they do have selections because this is I want to say international, but that's not the right word. A galactic cooperation venture. Yeah. So you see there's Tolan cuisine, there's Jaffa cuisine, there's Tok'ra cuisine, Tal'Ree. You see some Unos dishes as well. Those are disconcerting. But it's like the one that catches your eye. It's like a fluorescent green lumpy mound that moves occasionally. Not quite sure what it is.
Slowly take a knife and kind of poke at it.
It like jiggles like Jello,
Mhm.
but like you're familiar with Tauri Jello, and this is not Tauri Jello, but it jiggles like Tauri Jello.
Hmm. I take some.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. You
I'll give it a try. Why not?
absolutely go ahead and roll me a con save, please.
All right. Let's see.
It is not a high DC.
Was this meant for Jafar consumption? Oh wait, that's a con check, not a save. But let's see. I don't think it'd be much different.
Unless you're proficient.
I gained 2, which would make it
Okay.
a 9.
9. Okay. 9. So
Hmm.
you take a bit of this and you take a bite, and it doesn't taste awful.
Hmm.
It's earthy, and a little bit tangy. It kind of reminds you of like mushrooms, but not quite. There's some like an undercurrent that's not quite right. But
Mushroom.
as you're chewing,
Mush.
your mouth goes numb. You can't feel your mouth anymore.
Yeah.
You see one of the cooks, one of the chefs come out from the mess, and kind of did you eat the unos, the green stuff? I'm gonna take that as a yes. You probably shouldn't do that in the future. It's a bad idea. You didn't eat a lot of it, did you?
I just kind of like pointed a few spoonfuls or whatever that I did
Okay,
eat.
okay. Yeah, you didn't eat a ton. Enough to make your mouth go numb, but not enough to cause any damage. She's like, yes, don't do that again. It could too much of the Unos food, particularly that dish, is toxic to many species in this universe. I have no idea what you said, but I'm going to assume it was yes, ma'am, I understand.
Perhaps it's
Yes, still no idea what you're saying. Sorry. Right, I'm gonna go now because I don't understand what you're saying. I'm sorry. She does not hear you request a warning label at all. Just it does not compute for a second. But she goes back into the kitchen. And then during all of this, kind of the same thing that happened with Fiddler as you were talking, and you register that you're hearing this sound. And as you register that, you're like, oh, I've been hearing this for a couple moments now. Like this isn't a new sound to your ears. Let me see. Let me just roll a dice real quick.
I go and investigate the sound.
Okay. Your mouth is going to be numb for the next 4 minutes.
Oh.
You go and investigate the sound, and you go out into the hallway from where the mess is, which is very close to the barracks. And you see people gathering in the halls. At this point, you do notice Major Jared Bell and Fiddler coming down the hallway as well. They seem to be headed towards command.
Whoa.
Sure, come on.
You understood what he said?
No, but I had an understanding that he might have. It's all right. He saw us like that.
Right.
Just don't ask questions. It's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
We're going to command. So if you would like to come with, you're more than welcome. And you guys head off. And last but not least, what is Ixora doing at 3 o'clock in the morning on a random day at Stargate Command?
As we know, she's typically a
muted.
very early fuck. I'm not muted on. Wasn't muted on the OBS. I totally was muted on the Zoom. I was giggling, which means I was giggling in the. Oh, never mind. Anyways, hi. Yes. We know Exora is a very early riser. Typically with the breaking of the dawn, which is probably about 2 hours from now.
Mhm.
But sometimes we also know that Exora gets really invested in some research. And might stay up a little late. So I feel like at 3 a.m., she's realized, oh no, it's 3 a.m. I'm gonna be waking up. Maybe I have to sleep in tomorrow till 6 a.m. Ooh, I don't know. She's probably shuffling out of the base, like just about to exit with a cup of herbal tea to go back home, get a couple hours of sleep. She's got some little bags under her eyes, probably. Just studying some really fascinating topics in the research area. And then here's that noise, and it's just like, should I stay or should I go? Thinks about it and thinks about how much more it would suck if she was actually needed and had to walk all the way back to base. And so just instead sighs and turns around and is just kind of hopeful for a quick, oh yeah, you're not needed dismissal after about, 15. She'll just shuffle with her cup of herbal tea to command.
Right, absolutely. As you make that decision to head to command, you are on your way and you notice, actually give me what's that check?
Perception? Nature, science, investigation, culture. Hopefully not pilot. Good heavens.
It's not quite insight, but it's not quite science either. Get an intuition check. So
okay. I think insight might be more.
Yeah, I think that's
applicable.
what we'll go with
Sure.
insight. Give me an insight check.
I would love to. 21.
21. Okay. So with that check, you are you're an alien, right?
Oh yeah.
You're
not human.
Not human, and not you're human-esque, but you're not Jaffa, you're not Tolan. You're kind of like your own
Yeah, Tok'ra, just my own thing.
Yeah,
I'm in a Turin,
Yeah, exactly. You're in a Turin. It's they're not quite human, You get this feeling with this sound that you're hearing.
Okay.
It's a feeling of concern.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Not quite panic, but that concern / worry where you're
a gut feeling of something is wrong. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And you recognize with the 21 that this is not your feeling.
Oh.
So this is not one of your emotions. This is
I'm kind of empathically picking up something.
Yes. Okay. This is something outside of you that you are feeling, and you are making that connection with the 21 that this feeling of concern is coming from that sound you're hearing.
I will hasten my pace a bit, noting this, and I should tell someone important.
Okay.
My thoughts and my feelings, well, actually not my feelings on the matter. Yes.
The feelings that you're picking up on. Yes. So yes, you hurry down to the command room, and as you reach it, you the way the command room is set up is it's this really long hallway, and it's there's like the steps up into the gate, the dial room, and then you've got like doors on the sides that go into the gate room itself. There is the long hallway, and then a hallway that is perpendicular with the long hallway. So it's essentially a T section with a door that goes into the dial room.
Sure.
And you see, as you're coming down from the left hallway, you see across you coming down from the right hallway is Fiddler, Gorick, and Major Jared Bell. And at the same time that you guys kind of come to this intersection, you notice Haim and Jake Miller coming from the T section of this hallway. And all of you kind of meet up at the entrance to the dial room.
Oh, hey guys. Y'all hearing that too, huh?
Yes, it is quite
Persistent.
concerning.
Loud.
Whoa.
Loud.
It is concerned.
Whoa.
I'm tired. Did you say it's concerned, not you're concerned?
Yes, that is exactly what I am saying. It's this whatever this noise is, it is projecting concern, like a bad feeling.
I get that feeling every time the alarm goes off.
Are you just projecting on something here? I mean, it's just disturbance. It's just a static.
No, I'm quite certain because I felt a feeling. Then I realized it was not my own, and it did not start until the sound started.
Wait, Ixor, are you telling me that you think there's something like abnormally like alien going on with this?
Everybody make a perception check. As Jake Miller asks that question.
Of course.
and then there's an explosion. No.
Oh, of course.
Whoosh, rocks fall, you die.
Yeah. 17.
Okay.
10.
I'm so good at this.
I rolled a 3.
14, 10, 17, 10. Okay, so everybody rolled a 10 or higher. Not a hard check at all. You guys, like I said, you kind of met at this T section that leads up into the dial room, and you can see from here, you all recognize that the Stargate is currently open. You can see that glow from inside the dial room. And all of you, because you are members of Stargate Command, know that there is not a scheduled gate activation right now. There should not be an open gate at this
Shouldn't
time.
there have been an alarm for an unscheduled gate activation?
Yes, there should have been.
And there wasn't an alarm for an unscheduled gate activation.
There was not.
Okay. At that point, noticing that, Fiddler runs straight for the command room.
Jake's turning with him.
We gotta follow protocol here. Okay, is the protocol to shut down the gate immediately?
So protocol. This is a strange situation because typically protocol with an unscheduled gate activation is to close the iris. It's not an iris. They have like a shield, like kind of how Atlantis has.
Shield.
Force field, similar. The protocol is to activate the force field and shut it down if possible, because as we all know in the Stargate universe, sometimes you just can't close that Stargate. And sometimes when somebody is dialing in, you don't have access to closing it. Sometimes that happens. Haim goes with Fiddler and Jake Miller. You guys know that he is the main gate technician. He's the one who dials pretty much all the time. So he goes up with the two of you. Major Bell waits for Ixora and Gorick and kind of takes a glance around because he's noticed too that glow is happening and there's no alarm going off.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got his hand. He doesn't have his weapon out yet, but he does have his hand on his sidearm right now, and he's doing a very methodic and clean sweep of the surrounding area visually. Fiddler and Jake and Heim, you all go up into the dial room, and you see before you the big plexiglass area that looks into the gate room. You see Jessie there. You know she is your handler. She is wearing a pair of PJs, just like lounge pants and a t-shirt. She is standing next to General Lawyer, who is standing with his arms crossed, but he doesn't look super concerned. He's got like a look of confusion, like he doesn't understand what's going on kind of right now. Nobody seems panicked. Nobody, there aren't any combatants that you can see through the glass. There's just General Lawyer and Jessie in this command room right now.
It definitely walking in with the normal, like, what's going on, sir?
Oh, good morning. We're not quite sure yet. Heim, can you get on the computers and see what's going on? And Heim immediately doesn't even respond, just goes, and before even General Lawyer started talking, he was already headed over there. We're not quite sure what happened. I was woken up by that sound, and I came down here and saw that the gate was open. The force field's closed. He gestures, and you guys can see that the force field is indeed closed. No alarms went off, no nothing. Nobody's come through. Aside from that noise, there hasn't been any messages, and that noise is definitely coming from the Stargate, though. Jessie is kind of going through some various readouts that are across all of the different gadgets and displays and things like that in this room, and she's not really paying super attention to you guys. She seems to be focused on her work at this moment.
Is there an open terminal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fiddler will sit down and start trying to do signal processing.
Okay, roll me a science check, please.
All right. Sure. Let's see. Hold on. Let me double check what my making sure because I have these little abilities. I want to make sure I use them properly.
Yeah.
I thought there was something else with technology. Okay, can't find it. So I will look at that later and figure it out. So yeah, I'll just roll a science. 19.
19. Okay. Oh, and also for reference, the tension die for this episode is a D6, so standard tension.
Okay.
If any of your abilities have that, just so you're aware.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You sit down at this console and you pull up the signal processing and a couple subroutines that you know will be able to kind of dissect this sound and figure out maybe what it is. You take a bit of time. It'll take you about 5 minutes to get any kind of reading, any kind of to make any sense of what you're reading, essentially. So we will get to that in a second. Ixora and Goric, what are you guys doing at this time? You see Major Jared Bell making that sweep. He kind of branches off from you guys, goes to the left, checks, make sure no one's there, goes down the hall to the right, goes down the hall backwards, the T section, kind of just makes sure and sees that there's nobody, nothing going on. And he just kind of gives you guys a nod, like, all clear.
Straight to the armory.
Okay, absolutely. You head off to the armory, and it is occupied. You do see that there is, because there's not an arms master. Quartermaster, thank you. There's a quartermaster there. You know the Tauri have this set up for tracking of weapons and turning in and all of that stuff. And they will be able to get you whatever you want, essentially, within reason.
Pull out my kit and an extra Jaffa staff. So
Yeah.
you know, might have to shoot that gate.
Absolutely. It doesn't take you long to get that information, or to get those materials. The quartermaster has you sign out, obviously, all of your stuff, and then you're good to go. That'll take you about 5 minutes as well, not too long.
Then I head to the gate room
Okay, absolutely.
or
Ixora?
debarkation room, one of those things.
Yeah.
Ixora will just take in the surroundings for a moment, watch Major Bell clear the room, and then she will join in the command center where Fiddler and Jake are to see if, any of them have been able to analyze the sound, perhaps, if it is something trying to communicate. If she picked up emotions from it, it's probably something trying to communicate. And she's going to be racking her brain to think if there's any cultures she's read about or, heard of that might communicate via high-pitched whines or signals or something.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me a. I believe we do have. Yes, roll me a culture check, please. We do have
I'd love
a
to.
culture skill.
19.
19. Very nice. Okay, so there are a wide variety of creatures in the galaxy, in the Milky Way galaxy, that communicate through various sounds and pitches and tones, things like that. You've never heard of a creature communicating through a Stargate this way. This is something that's clearly a signal of some kind as opposed to a sound, if that makes sense. It's not with your earlier insight and your culture now, this is not organic. You're getting that feeling, that concerned feeling from this signal, but it's not an organic signal.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. At the same time as you're going up and you're kind of processing all of this, Fiddler, on your screens. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. 1 second. Jake Miller, are you doing anything in the command room while Fiddler is on the screens?
He's just browsing over the different screens over each other's shoulders and kind of seeing to gauge what everybody's noticing or what's going on. Just being quiet.
Okay, absolutely. Make me. I want to say
Perception?
Yeah, let's go with perception. That's a good one.
Okay. Natural
Nothing.
1 for a 4.
Natural 1. Everything
I'm
is
tired.
fine.
There's no coffee.
You just woke up. You haven't had coffee yet. Everything's as fine as it can be.
He's wandering over the computers, gets kind of bored, and starts looking for a coffee pot.
Yep. And there is one, obviously. This is, Stargate. So they have one away from all of the instruments, obviously, but in like the back corner of the room, you can get a pot going. Yes.
Cool.
Yes, absolutely.
He's going to wander over there.
Okay. While you're doing that, Fiddler, on your screens, it takes you about 5 minutes, but you're going through, you're analyzing. You pull out some of your own instruments because your technology is very superior to the Tal'Ri. Because even though the Tal'Ri has their components here in conjunction with the Tolan and the Tok'ra, it's still not Tolan technology.
Right. Where quality is job one.
Yeah, exactly. You come to the same conclusion that Ixora manages to come to, that this is not an organic signal. It is manufactured. And there is a
carrier wave or...
Yeah, so signals have patterns, right? Obviously. This one has a standard pattern that you see without, in the readouts, you can see it without digging anything deeper, right? But you, being you do dig deeper, and you see that there is a sub-signal that is organic.
Okay, so
So
there's a
you
carrier
have
wave that's being piggybacked on by an organic. Okay,
Yes,
so
you have a manufactured signature with there's an underlying organic signature in it.
okay, but there's nothing. I'm not able to make heads or tails of what the signal is.
No.
Okay.
You can tell that it's not malicious. It's not like it's not doing anything to the systems. It's not it's not disrupting anything. It's just a signal.
Fiddler would do two things. He'll try and actually it's a few steps. He's going to separate the two signals, so you have the organic and the manufactured signal, and he's going to compress the signal wavelength to see if that helps anything, and he's going to stretch the signal wavelength to see if that changes anything in case there's a compression issue, because this is an anomalous reading, this is an anomalous situation. There's a great many things that could be going on that could be disturbing the signal and making it unrecognizable.
Yes, absolutely. Easy enough. You don't have to make a check to separate them. You are very proficient in that. You know how to do that. That's not a problem. As for reading anything and changing the lengths and things like that, go ahead and make me I'll give you science or engineering, whichever you prefer.
They are both the same. I'm going to keep writing science to see. Come on, keep rolling well. 20. Yes.
20. Okay, very good.
So
very
much
good.
better. 20 is like adding up 5 of my rolls from last time together, and I'd get 20. So,
with the 20, you separate them, and you start with the manufactured signal first. You compress it, you stretch it, you do all kinds of things to it, and it does what it should do. You compress it and it gets, higher, more frequent, or more, or not erratic, but like louder,
Right.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. You slow it down, you stretch it, and it slows down and stretches, and it's still that same tone. It does exactly what it's supposed to. With the organic signature, it does not change. When you compress it, when you stretch it, when you do anything to it, it is the same signal no matter what you do to it.
I will turn over my shoulder and look for Ixora. I'm like, Ixora,
Yes.
come here.
Oh, certainly. No. I'm over with my cup of tea.
All right. Look, we've got two signals here. There's a mechanical signal that has been manufactured, and it operates as a signal should. Compressing it, amplifies it, the pitch of the signal, and stretching it, starts throwing it down, peaks and valleys, all that. There's an organic sub-signal underneath it all that
interesting.
Whether I compress it or amplify it, it stays the same, which goes against most everything I understand about signals technology.
Yes. Have you tried playing it backwards?
I'm not sure that the direction that you play it would have much to do with the compression or the extension of the. But if you'd like to, I can snip something and then flip it around.
Yes, that could prove useful.
Okay. All right, so I do what she asks.
It's worth
Yeah.
trying.
I'm completely just like dismissive of it because he's just like, that's not what I'm working on here. But fine, I'll make the 7-foot tall woman happy.
Yes, and you do what she asks, and it does not change. It is defying all laws of signals as you know them.
That is quite fascinating.
I'm just signals can be compressed. That's the whole point in the signal. Like it's data and it's waves and press. I don't understand.
Jake at this point would walk over with a cup of coffee and half awake, kind of half hearing what you guys are saying. He'd kind of look at Fiddler and Ixora and be like, "You guys ever recall anything from prior mission files of gate attacks using anything like this, like an odd signal or anything?" I'm a little fuzzy right now.
Did think about previous not not specifically previous
There's
mission
no like
files.
energy coming through, is there?
We should take readings, but I do not know of any cultures or people that use any technology or communicate in a way such as this.
Jake, I'm pretty confident that the automatic systems would have recognized any particular energy discharges from the Stargate, and they probably would have
Yes.
closed the iris at that point.
That is correct.
Okay.
But that's a
Although-
good point.
You do know that the iris
We could
is
check
closed.
for radiation.
Oh, the iris is closed.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The force field. It's not an iris. You can still see
Okay,
the
the force
Stargate.
field's oh, okay. okay.
Digital
But
iris.
General Lawyer did tell you that because he was the first person who saw the Stargate. He said he came down because his room is right above. And he came down. The gate was active. He heard it activate, so he was there when it
Push the big
activated.
button.
Yeah, and it was already when he came down. The iris, the force field was already activated.
Okay.
He did not activate it.
What now? Is that an automatic system? That if
Nope.
it's an unscheduled? Okay. And do we know if it's do we know if there's an automatic system in case like energy releases or something? Like if it registers
You mean,
something
like
coming
matter
through,
coming
it
through
automatically closes.
So, the computers do that, right? The
Mhm.
computers read, and if they notice, they will, they'll shut it. They'll close the iris. Essentially, if
Okay.
there's any
Anomalous readings cause an
any
automatic
anomalous
closing of the
yes,
iris.
Yes.
Or
Now,
the shield.
right, but an
Yes.
unscheduled activation does not. That's something that
So there had to have been an anomalous reading.
yes.
Okay.
Which with this sound that you're hearing, you guys can make the assumption that
That this
is
is
what.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And you do know that typically the this room isn't supposed to be unoccupied. There's supposed to be somebody in it at all times
Mm-hmm.
because the iris doesn't automatically close when there's an unscheduled activation. Somebody has to be there to be like, unscheduled, let me press the button.
Who was scheduled to be down here?
There is a like a roster list to schedule like on one of the walls. And you see it is just a Tauri. And General Lawyer, as you're looking at it, he was having some issues. I let him go. I was upstairs for literally 2 minutes and this happened. So, but when I came down, the iris was already activated. I'm assuming because of this sound. He looks at you guys for confirmation. And yeah, that's what I have noticed.
Is there a pattern in either the organic or the manufactured
That was going to be my next
signal
question.
that we could perhaps try to decipher anything from, whether there's like a code or a gate address or something being transferred?
So with Fiddler's earlier science check of 20, the only thing that is strange about this signal is the manufactured signal is doing what it's supposed to, right?
Yeah.
When you fiddle with it, it changes.
Mm-hmm.
The organic signature is the one that's not following
laws of physics.
Exactly. With as you kind of the pair of you take your time and try to dissect and figure out what the heck is going on with this, you really can't make heads or tails of this. This is something that you have not come across before because it's defying the laws of physics.
Mm-hmm.
You're not finding any kind of code or pattern or anything like that. It is just this sound,
very droning,
and yeah, exactly. Just kind of like a dial tone, but not quite. A more like high pitched feedback kind of thing.
Fiddler wants to take the signal and he wants to step it out of phase and rebroadcast it directly back at it, which should cancel the signal out.
Have we tried to project anything
yeah.
back. Yes.
Roll me a science check, please. And you, Ixora, if you would like, you can help.
I would love to assist, yes.
Okay. 24 then.
24. Okay.
Very nice.
You
So nerds.
I know. High five.
So it takes you a couple moments to get your computer to comply, because this, like I said, the signal is the signal is wrong. Like it's not right. Not wrong in the sense that it's bad. It's just it's not right.
It's concerned.
It's concerned. Yes, the signal is concerned.
The signal
Still
is
don't understand
concerned.
that description. I'm concerned. I'm not sure why it's concerned.
So
it is more concerned than I am. Though it is,
yes.
my concern is increasing.
So you do that. You step it out of phase. You essentially have the computer broadcast it back. And Ixora, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh
please.
gosh. Oh
Uh-oh.
no. Okay. Allegedly
Now it
I'm
is
supposed to
very
be
concerned.
good at this, but I nat
Oh
one.
no.
So
Nat one.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
I said allegedly. And
So-
yeah.
You
What happens to me?
Fiddler does this, right?
Yes.
He gets everything set up.
Do I just
He
collapse?
presses the button. He presses the button. And the rest of you, everyone except for Ixora,
Oh boy.
it stops. The sound stops. The signal goes dead. It lasts when you beam it back. It lasts for about 5 seconds, and then the whole thing stops. The manufactured and the organic signal, both of them stop. During those 5 seconds, Ixora, you hear a voice.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Okay.
You hear a very, very far away voice. That sounds like it's coming through a speaker that's got a like a blanket over it, like muffled,
Yes.
far away, hard to hear.
Someone's like cell phone on like speaker mode under a blanket on the other side of the room. Yeah.
Underneath the couch. Yeah. You hear just very far away, hello? Is anyone there? Help, please. Somebody. And then you black out.
Oh, okay.
You guys see Fiddler, Jake Miller, everybody else, all the other NPCs in the room see Ixora go still. She's a very serene woman, but I imagine like she's not very still, if that makes sense.
She, like a little gentle sway. I'm also holding
she's
a
very
mug
fluid.
of tea. So yeah.
She's very fluid.
Like
always
a tall tree and a slight
trees.
breeze.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly what I was picturing. She goes rigid for those 5 seconds.
Do my eyes roll back or anything?
Her. They don't. They don't.
Good. It's less creepy.
She's just staring off into space directly at the Stargate. And then she, like a tree, just falls backwards onto the ground. She drops her mug, it shatters, tea everywhere. She is unconscious.
What a tragedy.
Not my fault.
I was gonna say Jake would go, oh,
Not my fault.
and
I didn't do it.
He would do the classic thing that Stargate is somebody call medical team and try to help get her up, and then start getting her moving towards medical, wherever that is.
Yeah. So
or
you call for a medical team. Jesse goes over the comms and goes over the speakers essentially and calls for a medical team. You don't necessarily move her because you're not exactly sure what happened. So the medical team is on its way, and the remainder of you, so everyone who is conscious, sees that the Stargate disconnects. The connection is gone. Heim, as it closes, says, I got the address, so we're good there. Just,
Oh, good. I was about to ask that question.
Yeah, got it.
High five. Good job.
Yeah, definitely high fives you. He's very excited for any type of like Tauri like culture things. Like he loves fist bumping, high fiving.
Oh, well,
like
then
that.
that's something he does. Like he's got a whole handshake thing he does with Heim.
Yes.
Now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Heim and Fiddler have a secret handshake. Perfect. I love it. It's canon now.
Yep. And they both just giggle about it because they have no idea what they're doing, but it's fun for
right.
them.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yep.
So as you guys are waiting for the medical team, Ixora, you do come back to consciousness. You have a little bit of a headache, not bad. You remember everything that you heard.
Oh, good.
That's
good.
You find yourself on the ground with Jake Miller next to you, holding you.
Just
Propped up,
making
sure she's stable. Yeah.
Lieutenant
okay
Miller. Hi. Yes, I'm all right.
You blacked out and fell on the floor.
Yes, that seems to be what happened. That's at least what I'm assuming happened, seeing as how we are at this moment.
Are you able to get up? You want to lay there?
Considers it for a moment. I shall endeavor to get up. My head hurts a bit.
Okay, well, we called for medical. I think you should probably get checked out. You probably whacked your head pretty hard.
I heard a voice as soon as Fiddler sent back the signal, put the signal out of phase.
What did the voice sound like? Did it say anything?
It did. It said, "Hello, oh no, we lost our GM. We are hoping."
It said.
It said.
Shut down.
Let's just fiddle a thing real.
Start slowing down now.
I'm just gonna put us on a 5-minute break here, and we will I hope our GM is back by then. If not, we'll come back and make an announcement. We'll see y'all in 5.
We'll be back.
Okay.
We are kind of sort of back to make an announcement. Yes, I think our internet provider did not account for Stellar Drift. Because she's still without internet, and she does not know how long it will be without internet. So we are going to call it here for tonight, so we don't keep you waiting anymore. But thank you all who did wait. We appreciate you. The holidays are in the thick of things for the next couple of weeks, so we will be back with more Stargate Flames of Hope on January 3rd, which we will pick up right here with what is happening. So thank you all so much for watching. Till next time, have fun and play games. We'll see you on the 3rd for more Stargate, and hopefully next Monday for more The New Batch.